Good morning. I just wanted to share another quick story that I was reminded of when I was 19 when I had my daughter, and was very, very young. Her dad was actually younger than me. He was 18, so we were like babies having a baby. When I see like my niece now and she's 19, about to be 20, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I was pregnant at that time. Um, Anyways, when my daughter was about 6 months old, I remember her dad had recently gone to the army. And, I didn't have like a lot of money coming in. I was still living at home with my mom, but she was always kind of like disappointed in me. I don't know. I didn't have the greatest routine, first thing in the morning, like she thought I should have and all these things. And, I guess I didn't put like the peanut butter jar back, right after I made something. So she's telling me, Arlena, think 3 steps ahead. When you change the baby's diaper, just know I'm automatically going to go throw it away. And I was like, okay, yeah. It's like, I was a first time mom, I was alone. I was newly married also. I had gotten married very young. I got married, and because when he joined the army, it was going to be like, we were going to move with him after he went to basic training and whatnot. And so I remember I didn't have a lot of money, and I was waiting for, because I had gotten on assistance back then, and I was probably going to lose it because he was in the army. But until then, like, I had a couple days, and I never asked my mom for anything when I lived with her, with my daughter. I don't think she ever bought one pack of diapers. I nursed my baby girl, so she didn't need Enfamil. But I do remember there was one time, maybe twice, where I actually stole a pack of diapers. I was also very prideful. I would not ask my mom for nothing. I mean, she was reluctantly let me live with her, but yeah, I wouldn't ask for nothing. I'd rather steal it than ask my mom. Our relationship, like, I'm close with my mom, but at the same time, like, we clash in a lot of ways. So, and I've noticed, well, that's actually something for another story. Anyway, so I was 19 years old. I remember I was in the shower, and I was like talking to God. And my relationship with Jesus back then, like I said, I knew God existed. I knew that, like, I loved him, but I didn't think that, like, I had actually made another video called Breadcrumbs of Love. And I had thought previously that I'd always thought back then that the fact that I just know that God exists and that he's real and, like, he is who he says he is, like, that's enough. Like, I shouldn't be asking for anything. The fact that, like, I have eternal life one day, like, that's payment enough. Um, so my outlook on God was a little warped. And so, because God, he wants to bless us. When we have a need, he wants to supply our needs, and he wants to give us more, even that, because he loves us, just like we love our own kids. Like, oh, you're hungry? Okay. I'm not just going to make you, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm going to put some grapes on that plate. I'm going to slice up some watermelon, make a little fruit salad, get you some juice. And, you want to make it good for your child. You love them. And that's how God looks at us. So I was in the shower, 19 years old, and I'm like, man, if I just had $20, I would go buy a couple jars of baby food and I would get a Starbucks. I know, I was 19. That's all I needed really, was some baby food. I had everything else, but I wanted to get her some jars. And I had, like, you know, maybe 2 jars of baby food left, like, till the next day. And, but I knew, like, she eats a little more. So I'm like, I just need some extra stuff. And I was feeling a little down. So I was telling God, I'm like, if I just had $20, this is what I would get with it. Actually, honestly, I think, because back then, that was 2007, diapers were cheap. So I'm pretty sure I needed diapers too. And there was like a pack for like $3.95 or something. And, everywhere I was in walking distance of everything. So I'm telling God, I would just $20 is all I need. I would make it stretch for the next like 2 days or however long I needed it for. And I told him that. So as I got out of the shower, and I said, I'm going to go take a walk across the street and see my friend Kayla, because she worked at, what's the place called? Ice cream shop, 31 Flavors. She worked at 31 Flavors, and then there was like a Lucky's and, Burger King, so it was a little vicinity. So I go there and I was telling her, "Oh yeah, I need to get some baby food and I'm just like kind of struggling right now." And um she went on her break. She's like, "Wait right here." I was like, "All right." She's like, "I'll be right back. I have to run to the store." I'm like, "Okay." Which was like, right next door. She comes back with like 6 jars of baby food. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, Kayla, thank you." Um, and then I remember I was like, I'd left the place because she had to get back to work, and I started walking. I was gonna go look in this little thrift store, and I saw my aunt, which was my dad's brother's wife. And she's talking to me, looking at the baby, and there's also an exchange bank right there. She's talking. I was like, "All right, well, I'll see you later." And all of a sudden, she's talking and she takes out $100 in 20s and gives it to me. That day, God provided all of my needs just by people who loved me. And, He uses people around us who love us to bless us, but He also puts it on their heart. So don't be afraid to ask God for a need that needs to be filled. He'll fill it plus more.